get to enough big finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lisa Batman, was she in it as well or not?
No.
No.
Okay, because one of those women looked like her, and I thought it was her.
Remember one of the interns that was holding the guy and when he was getting injected in the neck?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought it was Paul McGann. The one on the right.
That'd have been 2 years too early.
I was like, wow.
The doctor is in. I liked all the little doctor references they made in there.
Yeah. And that, especially with Liz Shaw at the end with John Pitt.
Right. Well, we're recording here, Phillip. For God's sake, put it in order, man.
Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, I did love that scene at the end, though, where she goes, "Thank you, doctor," and he gets that smile on his face.
Yeah.
He gets that nice little smug look on his face. Okay, everybody, for those of you who are wondering, we're talking about a little-known direct-to-video release. It was called P.R.O.B.E, .org. You get the scheme by then. It was based off the continuing adventures of Liz Shaw. This is well after she's left unit, she's left Cambridge, and now she's in charge of this little sex file style organization. It's just basically her and one other person, and of course they answer to Louise Jameson. Oh well, a lot of people. Okay, but let's go ahead and let's intro everybody first. Welcome to the Omega Files, in case I haven't said it yet. All right, first off we got William.
Hey now, how you doing, everybody?
And we got AJ.
Hola.
Texas Tim.
Hello.
Graham.
My name's not Daisy, but I'm here anyway.
And Phillip.
Good evening, one and all.
Yeah, this was a little direct-to-video release written by some young-looking guy named Mark Gatiss.
Who the hell was that? Yeah.
And oh my God, he looks so freaking young in this thing. What really scared me is how much he looks like my buddy Ross. But okay, let's start off with opening thoughts. Let's start. Texas Tim, opening thoughts on P.R.O.B.E, the Zero Imperative.
Well, I hadn't seen it in about 20 or so years, but I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was pretty well made for its time. As a fan-made video, it's pretty well directed. The script is pretty good. If I have any problem with that, I'd say as a main character, Liz Shaw doesn't appear that often. She's only in it collectively about 10 minutes, maybe. It's a good idea. You can tell they were heavily influenced by the X-Files. And there's a lot of, if you're in the know as a Doctor Who fan, there's a lot of little jokes and nods that you'll catch, like especially the end of it, which are cool. If you're not a Doctor Who fan, if you've never seen Doctor Who, then you might be wondering what all the fuss is. But I mean, it's a pretty cool little hour. It's not nice kind of horror movie kind of thing they got going on there. So I dug it.
Okay, what about you, Graham?
For me, quality weight spent an hour. I agree with Tim. My only main gripe was maybe a little bit more than 10 minutes, but yeah, Caroline John wasn't really in it much as a Liz Shaw. The main focus seemed to be upon the goings on in the hospital with Sylvester McCoy's character and the relationship between obviously Russell, Colin Baker, and Kane, John Pertwee as his Guardian's character. And then you've got the whole Patient Zero mystery lingering in the background, coinciding with all the murders. So, yes, Tim said it is really heavily influenced by the X-Files. The subtle nuances and nods towards the show it's fantastic. And you know what? From the very first second of the thing, that creepy opening score with that Daisy, Daisy, that was that really freaked me out for the first 20 seconds of the blooming episode. So, all in all, for an hour, can't complain, Brian.
Okay, what about you, Phillip?
For me, I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen this sort of thing. So, and as I was going through it, it was getting a bit headbendery. I couldn't understand what the score, who was murdering who was murdering who, and why are these people getting murdered? And although I got the gist of it towards the end, I would say it was a good piece. It was a good piece, and it's nice to see all the Who people, ex-Who actors and actresses knocking around the place, and all the, as Tim said, the references to Who. If you're not a Who fan, you won't get the references, but other people will. It's an odd piece to watch, but it's enjoyable. So yeah, I liked it.
Okay, what about you, William?
Oh, this one I haven't seen in such a long time. I did have to rewatch it, just to understand it. And it does remind me a little bit of the X-Files and probably Mega Factor and other shows like that. Maybe the Twilight Zone too. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, like Tim was saying, this show, she didn't appear that much in it. But as a start of as a run of a few stories, it's not a bad thing. It's a shame. It was a shame that more episodes was not made out of it, because we know us who grew up watching classic Who love to see all the good stories with what happened with Liz Shaw. Considering later on the actress did pass away, it was a sad thing. And of course seeing other actors who like McCoy and Baker and Ace. And that it was not a bad thing. It was a little in some scenes got me a little spooked out, because for its time it did show blood and stuff like that. So it showed you that this Margetta wanted to be you wanted this to be serious, not comedic or goofy like say one of a classic Who story would be.
Okay, what about you, AJ?
The beginning part of the movie was kind of slow for me, but it picked up towards the end, which it got creepy at the end. I thought it was more of a horror than a sci-fi. As the other guy said, it was more heavily influenced by like the X-Files and Millennium and whatnot from the 90s. But it still was a very good story. I liked the little nods and jokes to each Doctor, especially when McCoy at one point is talking to someone and goes, "Don't worry, I'm a doctor," and has a big smile on his face and then turns around and walks away. So, overall, it was a pretty good story.
Okay, let's go for favorite characters. Let's start with Graham. Any characters you thought stood out?
Well, I absolutely loved McCoy in this as Dr. Dove. Basically, at the beginning of the story, you think he's helping the Jon Pertwee character of Kane conceal his family secret. And by the time you get to the end, it swings and the pendulum goes the other way, and it turns out he wants to be present when the shall we say, crossing over phenomenon happens, just to feel it, to taste it, to revel in it. Psychotic little Scottish man with an umbrella. And let's not forget that in this story, he was playing something other than the Spoons with the good-looking nurse. So, yes, huge praise to Sylvester McCoy and his outing here. Colin Baker was his usual brash self when it comes to a lot of the characters he plays. The Chief Executive Officer Russell of the Insane Asylum kind of harpens back to his days back on The Brothers when he was playing one of the lawyers on that show. The camaraderie between him and Pertwee as the son and the guardian with a estranged relationship was interesting for me as well. Mark Gatiss, the ever so young Mark Gatiss, he had a solid outing here as well. Somewhat still confused how the hell he got killed in that cell when technically he was on the phone before the bloody well flash happened and you heard the scream. But other than that, solid outing. He was the one that no one believed and ultimately cost him his life. So solid outing by everybody.
Okay, what about you, Tim?
I pretty much echo what Graham just said. But as far as like favorite scenes go, it'd probably be the cameo at the end with Peter Davison. Again, that only works if you're a Doctor Who fan. But just to have him sitting there laughing all crazy at the end of it is pretty hilarious. It just goes to show you that they've gone through this little horror tale mystery thing, and it's not over yet.
Okay, let's open up the floor. There were lots of little funny things in this here if you look. Like, there's the one scene where Colin Baker is talking with the young blonde doctor. Oh, her name's escaping me right now. But over his left shoulder is a poster of O.J. Simpson's mugshot. I'm like, why did they put that in there?
I didn't catch that. It's funny.
Yeah. I didn't catch it either. I missed that.
That was 1994. It was the year of the trial. So I think they were just trying to be, relevant in terms of current events. Let's throw it in there as an Easter egg,
What was it, like the cover of Time or Newsweek or something?
No, just a picture.
It was his mugshot. Yeah, it was a little poster of his mugshot, and it was up there on the bulletin board. And I was like, wow.
It was his mugshot when he got it.
Yep. Okay, any other moments y'all want to throw in? Because there's lots of little Doctor Who hints in here and lots of little references thrown in.
I just want to say I don't ever want to see Sylvester McCoy snog a woman again.
He was
when he was kissing that girl Louise.
Yeah. That ruined my childhood.
Well, Beatrice, was it Beatrice?
I don't know what her name was. It just ruined my
No, her name was Louise. Her name is Louise Bayliss.
Bayliss.
Her last name is Bayliss.
Oh, now that you mentioned that, I love that joke, Perth, we pulled with Mark Gatiss, you know. Yeah. How goes it? Well, on the Y front. Yeah. If only we knew back then, eh? If only we knew. Yeah, thanks, Phillip.
Okay.
It's a shame that Mark Gatiss' character got killed off. Because he was the one that almost, he checked the history of the hospital and all that, and the one that could have gave everything to Liz Shaw, he gets bumped off.
Yeah, exactly. He did all the work and somebody took the credit. Bollocks, man.
But didn't he hand her a bunch of binders with some stuff?
No, that was Colin Baker's
Russell.
Russell, yeah.
Yeah, that was another little joke. Yeah, Dr. Russell. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Barbara Bain. Oh, no.
I'm really surprised. I'm just really surprised that Big Finish never went forward with this, later. And since once they took over Doctor Who in the 90s, this would have been a good audio series for Caroline John. I'm surprised they didn't go with it. But I'm guessing it was because it's a Bill Baggs thing, and he was like the other side of fans, not the Big Finish people or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked. I would have loved to have seen a little thing continuing on with Big Finish. It was an interesting idea, to see her further adventures, after she's left Unit. And of course, because of the copyright things, they can't directly mention, the Doctor or anything like that. But they found nifty little ways of sliding it in there. That's what I loved about it. Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Go ahead. Floor's wide open.
Yeah, that photo she did of the way she rubbed the photo of the Brigadier right there in the wall.
Yeah. She was, I think she was chalking his mustache.
Yeah, she was.
AJ, you had to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, Colin Baker finally not wearing something that's multicolored.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, but I think. So I was going to say, I think Peter Davison would have been better in the role as Colin Baker, and Colin Baker being Peter Davison's role at the end, being the crazy guy.
I see where you're coming from there. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you got to remember that the patient zero was Colin Baker's
dad. Yeah.
So that's how come since Colin Baker is a little bit younger than Peter Davidson. I think, they're the same age.
No, he's older.
Colin's older.
Yeah, but 9 years.
Probably with the years difference, they had to use that one.
But special praise to Pertwee in this for me, man.
I felt sorry for him throughout.
Playing the slightly older, I'd say about a decade older than what he actually was at the time. Slowly declining public servant. He's clued in one section of the brain. He forgets other things with the other section of the brain.
It's interesting to know that the glasses he wore, John Pertwee I'm talking about, are his actual real glasses. That's what he normally wore in everyday life.
Yeah,
it's nice to see those.
Also, how many when you got to the one scene towards the end where he's coming at Liz Shaw and Colin Baker, he's got her by the neck. It's like, wow, not only is he strangling the companion, he's got a butcher knife in his hand now.
There you go, yeah. The Bohemian Doctor. Yeah.
That just flashed in my head. I don't know why.
Man, is it any wonder he's getting killed in 2 days? My God.
Oh. Too soon.
Yeah, it's not happened yet. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about relatively.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
I don't want to go.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Right, okay, come on. What else do I like about it? I just love seeing Liz Shaw in it, though, because you don't get to see enough of her.
Yeah, she smokes a pipe. How weird is that?
That's just like, what? That was brilliant.
Although, to be fair, the thing didn't exactly light up with you, because you're waiting on her tea.
What I found funny also, when Mark Gatiss goes to see John Pertwee's character, he knocks on the door, and he's like, can I come in? And Pertwee's like, no, go away.
And also, given what we now know about Mark Gatiss, I don't think anything's going to happen on the wife front.
Well, that was what that's what I was referencing earlier, you know.
So it's a fun little rock. Also, it's a very scary story.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a product of its time in terms of some of the stuff in it, but at the same time, as you know, for an hour, it really is a psychological thriller. I mean, McCoy, you know, I don't want to tell anybody it, and I'm just going to stay in my wee room and
I was going to ask if anybody could clarify it for me what the story was actually aiming at, but because this
the way it looks like like a you can say a individual was trying to cross over to our world.
I forget what was the word used?
oh yeah, that word, that funny word,
parabolic.
Perihelion.
Perihelion. There you go. Yeah, that was the term they used, and you know, it was obviously a supernatural phenomenon looking to perihelion or cross over into our domain via these killings. And
oh, I see. So
was it Daniel? Russell's father, was it Daniel? The character's name was Patient Zero. So,
yeah.
And it's been happening for a long time.
So it's in the
that's why you saw the flashback of a younger kid with his father like that.
With a knife.
Stabbed him, after getting the belt, I'm assuming.
That was kind of extreme, you know, having a child wielding a knife and stabbing someone.
Well,
really? What about Not a Living Dead with a kid killing the mum?
Yeah.
Well, the kid was already dead. That's why she did it.
Actor-wise.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, if you get a chance to watch this, scan the credits, even scan the people who are involved. You're gonna see a lot of familiar names in there, years and such. They just literally got together and said, look, let's do this. It's why not? It was like 5 years after the show had ended, and it was just their way of getting together and doing little adventures, on the side just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
So. Also, okay, for you folks, who are not, hip to the astronomy, all right, what it is perihelion is a planet's closest approach to the sun. Aphelion is its furthest away.
Wait, yeah.
So that's what they're referring to. Is the perihelion was when this force and our world and its world were the closest to the point,
of convergence.
Convergence together, yeah.
And the access point was also Patient Zero, so.
But if you get a chance, there's 4 more after this one. It's not a bad series to watch. I have to admit, wherever you find it, the video quality is not going to be good because this was never put out on DVD, and it should be. It really should be put out on DVD or Blu-ray because I feel this is part of the wilderness years that should be immortalized and brought out to the public. It's a good chance to sit down and see all your favorite actors doing completely different, well, except for Liz Shaw or Caroline John, doing completely different roles.
Yep,
I like it.
But doing the wilderness years, besides this one and the 2 we've done already, have there been other stuff done?
There was a couple of there was the one movie I can think of off the top of my head that was the Arizona Solution, and
The Stranger.
The
Stranger series.
Yeah.
And The Stranger also had various appearances by various people from Doctor Who in and out of it.
I think it was pretty much all Bill Baggs, wasn't it? I mean, that was that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And they would get people in like Gatiss from the books, who was writing the Virgin books as well, to play in or act in and write stuff. Good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember right, it was the same production company that did this one, did the Stranger series also.
Yeah.
Yeah, BBV.
That's a BBV, yeah.
Yeah, Arizona Solutions is just a short, nifty little movie. It has Nicola Bryant, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy. Those are the ones I'm going to go off the top of my head. And it's a really nifty story. In a way, it's kind of ahead of its time because it deals with a very powerful ecological issue. So if you get a chance, find it, go out and just give it a watch. Because I just find it refreshing to go back every now and then and see, what other roles these actors have done besides Doctor Who. Let's see them do something else. And it's kind of fun when you see it. Okay, so we've talked about it a little bit. We've jabbed at it a little bit. Let's go ahead and let's rate it. All right, Texas Tim, out of 10, how do you rate this one?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It's a fun watch, and it just shows how creative Doctor Who fans were back in the day when the show wasn't on. I mean, they cooked up their own thing, and it works. It's good.
Okay, what about you, Graham?
I kind of go. I'll go a wee bit lower than that, but I kind of grumble about it. It's a fun way to pass an hour. You know, pure creativity for the so-called wilderness years, and I just love McCoy's Dr. Dove. I'm sorry. 8 out of 10.
I'm a doctor. All right, what about you, AJ?
Me, I will give it an 8 out of 10. There's a point in the movie where Liz Shaw goes to lock her car door, but leaves her window wide open.
Wow.
Oh, nitpicker.
Nitpicking.
You're docking 2 points for that?
Yeah.
No, he took one and the other point for Sylvester kissing that young girl.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
That's
That should have been me.
You.
Yeah, so snogging a young lady is definitely a turnoff we all have to endure. Okay. Next up, William, how do you rate it?
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It was really good and in some scenes very spooky. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, Philip.
I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 as well because the first time watching it, I couldn't get my head around what was going on exactly. But I'm going to give it another shot anyway, just so I got it clear in my head. And I enjoyed it for what it was. And yeah, 8 out of 10.
Okay, so if you ever get a chance to watch this, like I said, it was actually 5. There are 5 episodes to it. The last one, Liz Shaw, is played by somebody else, but it's definitely a fun. And also it is a bit spooky. It is a bit scary. But if you're a Doctor Who fan, you're going to see all those nifty little references they throw in. Also, you're going to see some of your favorite actors and actresses doing completely role. Now, me personally, I gave it a 7 out of 10. You know,
okay.
It's a good view. It was Mark Gatiss, way back, in his early days, but it's still got a nice, horror edge to it. It runs slow in a couple places, and Caroline John's character, Liz Shaw, doesn't really pop up that much in it for it's supposed to be better than her. But other than that, yeah, I can get a solid 7. Okay, well, guys, next week we're going to jump back onto the superhero bandwagon. Because there's a movie out there that I've been seeing again recently. I feel it was underrated because, to me, I thought it was a good story. It was a great tale, had a great actor, some great actors in it, and we're all going to sit down next week and we're going to talk about a movie called Hellboy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Hellboy.
And with Sir John Hurt now, Ron Perlman.
You got me nervous. I thought we were going to do Fantastic Four. Like, no.
Oh, that was awful.
No. Fantastic Four has already run itself into the ground without me having to add to the damage. That's kind of like me going out and weeing on its already decomposing grave.
Oh, I've got Hellboy. That's all right. I've got it there.
So yeah, Hellboy, and then the following week after that, I think we're going to go ahead. We're going to do Hellboy: The Golden Army, which was the sequel,
which is the better one, in my opinion. But still.
So until next time, guys, let's go ahead and get goodbyes from everyone. Let's start, William.
Oh, thank you for having me here. Hope to be here next week.
AJ.
Thanks, guys, and I'll catch you next week.
Texas Tim.
Thanks for having me. Have a good night, everybody.
Graham.
Always a pleasure, Brian, and see you next week in hell.
And Phillip.
It's been a joy, and I'll be back again.
Okay, see you all next week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Bye.
Be seeing you.